Hello and welcome back. This is Methodical with the 10th and final round of the Pauper Challenge, September 17th. At this point it's been a long, grueling day, and this is the hand I'm presented with, and I look at my opponent. I do find out that he's on Stompy, and I'm okay with this against Stompy, especially on the draw. I've got good chances of drawing an additional land. I basically have something like a 60% to draw one of the next two draws. And I do have multiple turn 1 plays, being able to remove a thing on turn 2 or play 3 of Inspectors, so it's a little risky, but I feel like it's a pretty good hand, especially if we just draw at least one land. So we run with this one. To a nice start of Nettle Sentinel, so we're just going to take our beats. We do draw Boros Garrison, which is great. That gets us up to 3 mana very quickly. And we're able to just reduce the amount of damage we're taking. Also prevents us from having to discard. And next turn, we're basically looking to get down a 3-mana Spectre and a Vial, but we have a better play come along. Journey's Nowhere, leaving it with nothing on the board. And play our tap land. So next turn, we're set up to play Vial plus Skyfisher, except Sentinels come along. Sentinels in this matchup is generally pretty bad, but we are pretty lucky this game that our opponent was stuck in one land, which is rather unfortunate for him. So since he has no creatures, we're able to get this out and try and protect the monarchy. We're going to play the Vial using the red mana and the colorless, take out one of his creatures with that, and we're basically looking to Vial his Nest Invaders to prevent taking damage this turn or having to block it all. Unfortunately for us, he does have the vines, so at this point there's no real point in chump blocking. We're going to be taking 4 damage, and that's not ideal. He's going to take the monarchy. We do have a Palace Sentinels to take it back, so at this point we're just going to take our beats, go down to 10. Player Palace Sentinel will have a double block opportunity next turn along with 3 Inspector, so actually, we'll play double 3 Inspector, even better. While this is not ideal, we don't even have to attack to get back to the monarchy, so it's pretty decent. He attacks with the Nest Invaders here. We're just going to chuck everything in front of it because we are afraid of an additional pump spell. The worst possible thing happens, and he's got 2 Hunger of the Howlbacks, so he crushes all over the board. Yeah, it's pretty bad. We need to basically find a journey to get rid of it. We do have the opportunity of core Skyfishing a journey back to get rid of it, but then he's the 2 Rancors. So in this position, I'm basically looking to churn through a lot of my deck and use a Vial to blanket for a turn. If he does have a Vines of the Vastwood, we will lose, but in this position, I feel like it's the best opportunity to try and just dig for our last journey. Because giving him back any one of these creatures and he puts multiple Rancors on it, if he's got the Vines then, we're also in a really bad spot. So it's best just to kind of cash in the Vial while we can after drawing some cards with it. We play the Hawk here so that way we can bounce the Vial and replay it, leave up a mana, and play a tapped land. We want to hold the Skyfisher back in case we do not draw an additional journey later on, because we want to keep the opportunity open to bounce one of the journeys. We have another Vial, so we have the opportunity to go for another Vial turn if we want to. But since we know he doesn't have Vines from last turn, and since now we've got multiple blockers, it's starting to look like we probably should just cash in the Skyfisher, give him back a Nettle Sentinel, and kind of go from there. We do really need to get this Nest Invader with the 6 counters off the board. So we still get to stop 1 creature from attacking. He's going to be able to get damage in. Getting the Hawk is nice, but we're going to bounce a land just because we do want to have the Alchemist Vial play available. He ends up spreading around the Rancors to play around the Vial, but that's fine for us. We just stop the biggest one from attacking, and if he attacks with everything, we get to eat his spawn, eat the Ranger, and trade. We take 2 damage and lose the Monarchy, but this is not a bad position, especially since we can just bolt his Nest Invader, steal back the Monarchy, and play Battle Screech. We've got multiple clues to cash in, so we'll draw 1 first, just to see if it changes our play at all. And at this point, we've managed to go from a precarious situation to soundly ahead. We know he has multiple Rancors, so we do have to be careful of some kind of shenanigans with like Vine, multiple pumps, so chump blocking is not really an option. We do have a Bolt, so it makes things much more likely that we can just kind of kill this at instant speed. So tricks are less likely to work. We just kind of go through the motions, drawing as many cards as we can, and then leaving back as many blockers as possible just to minimize any damage coming from the young wolf. When he plays the Rancor, we decide to go for the Lightning Bolt since we have a second burn spell. He does have the Vines, but we're able to play around that, thankfully. That's why we went for the burn spell there. So we have managed to counter one of the Rancors, and now he's just got this guy. So we play out lots of creatures, and then we finally get our last Journey Nowhere. Remove his last guy, and at this point it's just a simple matter of getting in 2 turns in a row. And that's about it. He's waiting till his next draw just to see if he draws anything of relevance. He's also letting me play out my hand just to see what I have. It's understandable. Doesn't draw anything useful, so he does concede game 1. We'll jump into game 2. I really do like this matchup. It's very favorable for us, especially post-board. So at this point, we've gone with the streamlined version of pulling out the 4 drops. So take out the Sentinels, take out the Battle Screeches. We do leave in the Sens Enlistments because that lets us turn lands into multiple blockers later in the game. We pull in the Standard Bearers, the Prismatic Strands, and the Lone Missionaries. We also pull out the 1 Prophetic Prism. Pretty standard at this point. Our opening hand is unkeepable. Only 1 colorless source. Yeah, just no good. We mulligan into this, and this hand does look pretty good. We will be getting a turn 2 Standard Bearer. Happy about that. We do have ways of playing our creatures. We left this on top because burn spell. We definitely want to kill things. So we kill the Scatter Shot Archer, but at this point we're feeling pretty bad about having the Standard Bearer since now he's going to be able to play the longbow and ping it down, so changing plans. We're just going to go with the Skyfisher value plan using the Thraben Spectre to draw additional cards down the road. We will definitely block. He does +1 it with the Hunger of the Hell pack, but that's fine. We will repeat our previous turn. Thraben, bounce Thraben. We will not jump block if there's no point. And at this point he's got the longbow online, so he's going to be able to ping, untap, ping any of our 2 toughness guys, so things are looking a little dicey. He ends up going face though, which I feel is incorrect. I feel like he should be taking out our creatures. We of course can't double block because once again he could ping, untap, ping our guy, but right now he is looking for the win. Very understandable. He's going to be able to ping us twice on our turn, so we need some way of gaining life. We need some way of killing this. We're in a very dangerous position. We might even have to play the Standard Bearer just to prevent some of the damage. Lightning Bolt is great, means we will get to deal with the Ranger, and that will keep us alive for another turn. Also a Journey to Nowhere. that's going to help us take care of that as well. I play the journey first, just in case he's got vines, like having the lightning bolt for more instant speed, so he does ping us for 2. We go for the lightning bolt sticks. So at this point, things aren't great. He does have this longbow, and we are at 2 life. So we're really just kind of hoping to fade a couple draws and manage to swing in for enough damage. He is on a 4-turn clock, and we can shorten that a bit more by playing out our creatures. So we will go ahead and do that. We want to bounce our Radiant Fountain because we definitely want to gain more life just in case things start going sideways. Do have to bounce a artifact land. So he does end up having a Gleeful Sabotage, which means he does get back his Quarian Ranger. This means that next turn he's going to be able to equip his longbow and ping us for 3 total. So bouncing a Radiant Fountain is like basically game changing. It's going to be able to keep us at 1 life, and we have enough power to hopefully have some way of winning. Right now we also have to worry about leaving enough back toughness wise because he's got a large 6/4 trampler. It's really dicey. We try and draw a card just to see what we get, and we do get a firebolt. This basically, looking here, we have to decide how many creatures we're going to attack with. None is the safest plan, but it basically guarantees dying to the longbow in 2 turns. Except we could then choose to kill the ranger next turn, but we'd be at 1. It's a really risky proposition. So I choose, since he has no cards in hand, to go with the option of attacking with 1 Glinthawk. Still leaves us with, what is it, 7 toughness back. If he chooses to attack, even most pump spells means that, well, if you draw his vines, we'd be dead, but not much we can do about that, unless we want to leave all our guys back. So basically we're playing around anything other than vines by leaving 3 creatures back. We'd be able to block, trade, even through like immunogenic growth or Hunger the Howl Pack, we'd be fine. We just need to get in with another 4 damage next turn after getting the Glinthawk in. So we kind of just go with that plan, get in for 2 damage here, aiming to get in with another 4 damage next turn, and Firebolt, Flashback Firebolt. He just equips the longbow, pings us, so we attack for 6, go for the Firebolt, and he pings us down to 1 just to show us who's boss. But this Firebolt does win the game. We've got another game where we managed to just scrape by on 1 life. And yeah. Turns out the Standard Bearer did not play any role here, even though it was in our opening hand. The longbow did stop that, but yeah, managed to win first place after 10 rounds. And yeah, thank you very much for joining me through this series. If you liked the series, if you feel like I did a good job, please let me know. I will try to see if I can do some of these in the future. If you notice anything I can change, improve, any questions or comments, just leave them all down below. Any tips at this point would be very helpful. And thanks for watching. This has been Methodical.